From the Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, 3 games down, 1 game to go. It's the Senior All-American Bowl for high school 8-man football for 2023. Total of about 14 states represented among 200 athletes throughout the entire weekend, and it culminates into the marquee matchup here at 4 o'clock Eastern on the mountain. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside Eli Cornett, proud to be with you in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, as we start with the opening kickoff for the Stars. It's been, one would potentially say, some sleeper games throughout the afternoon as this kick goes out of bounds to start us off. And Eli, it's shaping up to be a game that doesn't look like it's going to be sleepers. We start with looking at the Stripes, and it's a big part to their star in Shaquan Etheridge from Wayne Christian and the incredible season he's had.
Yeah, Shaquan Etheridge is a great player. He's had a really successful year, senior year. Looking to cap that off today, so we're really excited to see what he can do today.
82 carries for almost 1,300 yards and 21 rushing touchdowns, 14 receiving touchdowns to top that off. And you also look on the defensive side for the Stripes, a big part of that from Ezekiel Academy, Melvin Spells, 106 tackles on the season and 20 tackles for loss, including 15 sacks. It's going to be a lot of trouble for the offense of the Stars.
Yeah, when you say the name Melvin Spells, you think of a headhunter. You think of a guy who's going to get after the ball. You think of a guy that's going to be aggressive and make the plays that he has to make. So he's another guy that we're really excited to see today. We've had 3 not competitive but sleeper games, and this is the one that we've all been waiting for, so can't wait to get this one underway.
As we will have a return to start off from the 20-yard line. As weaving around, you could see the lightning bolt on the side of the helmet. So who else but an Evangel Lightning player to get this started as he's weaving through tackles as he's done so well throughout the season. And that's Caleb Austin from Evangel Christian. And what great field position for the Stripes to start out with.
Great job there by Austin, getting a return up the middle, making a few guys miss to get into enemy territory. And if you're from Alabaster, Alabama, that's no change for you. You've seen that every week, every Friday night. He's been doing it for 4 years. So great job right there by Austin, setting up this Stripes offense in enemy territory. Can't wait to see what they're going to do here.
They start out on the 34-yard line in enemy territory. Starting out with great field advantage and a little bit of a change-up. We were talking about this in the earlier games. You would think they wouldn't have enough time to practice audibles, but here they go, slung to the left side on the screen. Another the catch of the day. The first one goes to Caleb Austin. Had a nice field goal return. Has a decent gain there. It actually looks like it's only about a yard gain, so had a good catch but couldn't get anything going there.
Yeah, we're getting a little hint of their plan early to get the ball in Austin's hands. Like you just said, you read the stats. I mean, the stats basically speak for themselves. He's a dynamic player. He's been doing it 4 years. He's a senior. Get this man a chance. Another guy that can play at the next level and really make a difference for any college team that comes after him.
And it looks like we have a stoppage already. It looks like a false start or delay of game. They'll move it forward for a encroachment for 5 yards. Move it back up for a second down. And the other challenge that these Stripes will have with this Stars secondary, we'll get to that after this play, as they'll just opt to keep it up the middle. It's a good carry by the Stripes up the middle, and not enough to move the chains.
Yeah, just a simple inside zone right there. But great job by the nose guard right there, getting off that block, able to fill that gap and make the play right there. Great job by that defensive line.
Looks like they had him sub out. That carry was by Josh White from Tri-Cities Christian. They had him swap out there.
If you're setting in the third short, you want to be very careful if you're on the D-line to watch the ball. You've seen them several times in the last 2 plays. Get a little antsy to get across that line of scrimmage right there. So they got to be patient, play disciplined football, and make sure the ball is snapped before they get ahead of steam.
A scramble, trying to find the pass off, and wide open in the middle. It's an easy touchdown. Reed Barr, wide open in the middle.
Just a simple rollout play right there. Looks like the Stars secondary got lost right there. Barr was wide open in the back of the end zone. Easy touchdown there for the Stripes offense. Way to get it on the board and strike first.
primarily known as a rusher throughout the season with his 14 rushing touchdowns, gets wide open in the backfield, and the first points of the day go to the Stripes in the Senior Bowl game.
And during the season, Rebar does a little bit of everything. You can split him out. You can put him in the backfield. You can even line him up at tight end if you want to, and he's going to make a play. So great job right there. But it's something that these people expect to see from Barr. So we've got a really good, exciting game. Looks like we're going to have here, Spence.
And Mason Merritt was the one who passed it there, as 38 passing touchdowns on the year, and this 2-point conversion attempt is no good. Secondary getting the stop there, and already we've got the Stripes leading 6-0. Not even 2 minutes shaved off of the game clock here in Gatlinburg. Stripes start out early, strike first within 2 minutes of the first quarter. And a big part of that has to be credited to Caleb Austin on the kickoff return. Star senior for the Evangel Christian Lightning, the 6-time defending national champions. As they're going to go for a low squib kick that is picked up at about the 33. Return here for the Stars. He'll be brought down and loses the ball. Loses the ball. He's ruled down by contact. Ruled down before the ball came out. That would have been a crucial mistake for Ben Hirsch, but ruled down. And maybe we'll see it on the replay if he actually
it looks like
down.
His butt was down.
That's close.
It's close.
That's really close.
It's close. It looks like half of his rear was on the defender, and the other half was kind of in the air. So we really don't know, but it was really a close call right there. Could have been a turnover, but they're going to rule it a Stars ball.
So what could have been a disastrous turnover for the Stars early on is now a 1st and 10 after the kickoff return on the 33-yard line, and we will see Travis Barnhill for the first time, as this will be a handoff up the middle. Carry there for the Stars. That's Brad Caldwell, senior from Oakbrook Prep out of South Carolina. Is mostly known as a receiver with his 757 receiving yards. It's a carry there up the middle, a gain of 3.
Yeah, and you saw that motion play right there. Head coach for the Stars, J.J. Duarte. He's a guy that likes a lot of misdirection, a lot of motion. That's what he's going to try to do. He's going to implement his offense today. Try to get the Stripes defense off balance today. So let's see what they cook up here.
And they cook up a toss to the right side, and it's an interception. What may have been a catch there is a pick for the Stripes. Ray Shaw from John Paul II Catholic, his second interception of the season.
And that's just a matter of wanting it more. You got a 50-50 ball up there. Defender saw that ball, his eyes probably got really big seeing that ball getting thrown in his direction. So, they're going to call it a turnover for the Stripes. So, a great job right there by that Stripes defense.
Of course, instant replay not being used here at the All-American Games, maybe in the future, but the officials conferred. They discussed, pieced their angles together and ruling, and it clearly looked like on our side where it was the pick there. And, the Stripes getting that interception there, and a good move. And we mentioned in the open, certainly Shaquan Etheridge is one of the offensive weapons to look out for the Stripes. But on the defensive side for the Stars, you have Chris Wilkins from Oakbrook Prep, 106 tackles on the season, 15 sacks, 20 tackles for loss. Going to be a challenge on the game. And this is lobbed back. What a great play. Reed Barr lobbing it back and headed all the way to the end zone. What trickery. Easy walk in for the touchdown.
That was just a simple hook and ladder right there. What a great play. Barr finding the open guy, Barr pitching it back to his teammate as a high five down to the end zone. What a great play. That looked like shades of the Kansas City Chiefs right there.
And no penalty on that play, at least the difference between them.
I mean,
and the
it's
Chiefs.
an all-star game. They got to have fun. They got to have fun. They've earned this opportunity.
Already the Stripes are going to go up 12-0, looking to make it essentially a 2 PAT and 2 touchdown game. Missed the first 2-point conversion attempt. And keeper on the right side looking for the opening on the angle, trying to dive for the pylon. He's going to be stopped short. Shaquan Etheridge unable to get into the corner of the end zone there, and it leaves the score at 12-0. 9:01 left to go in the first quarter. The Stripes already raining touchdowns. Marty McKnight from Rocky Mount Academy credited for the touchdown with the lob back. This kickoff will go out of bounds, and this is starting to seem eerily similar to the 11-man All-American game earlier, where the Stripes started going up early and the Stars didn't have any methods to respond. And certainly that game closer at the start with 7-6 in favor of the Stripes, and you just certainly hope there is a little more even matchups heading into this offensive drive.
Yeah, and I mean, we have seen shades of this in this game like the previous games, but these are seniors. They've been here. They've done this in the regular season and in all-star games like this. So they've been here before, and they have a lot of experience. And, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Stripes are able to hold them right here and maybe get another quick score. But, I mean, you never know. It's the All-American game. Anything can happen.
With the kickoff going out of bounds, it's in Stripes territory at the 49-yard line for the Stars to work with, as you got another scramble, and avoiding the sack is Aiden Berlin, who's getting a huge gain up to the 30-yard line. Making something of nothing is the Freedom Cowboy.
Yeah, and what a great run right there. The pocket broke down really quickly. He was able to scramble out of there. It looks like we got a penalty, and close to there, I believe it was number Cy Young of Fort Wayne who brought him down, very close to being a horse collar tackle there on the sideline.
Looks like either horse collar. Signal looked like it was illegal touching.
It looked like there was a blindside block back there that could have been called.
And you see the official also having a discussion at the front with the players, and they move it back. The official gave the signal to the other set of bleachers, not up to the press box, and they just move it back to the 36-yard line. About a first and quarter of the field for the Stars. Berlin looking, is going to air it out on the right side, looking for his intended target. Incomplete. That was the target over to Nate Lauk from Kansas City East Lions. Incomplete.
And Lauk was running a corner right there, and he brought it on the top of his break. He brought it a little too skinny. He should have flattened his ride out, and might have been complete, but Caleb Austin was kind of lurking in the area. So good overthrow. Maybe if he had perfected that route a little bit more, could have been completion. But again, Austin was lurking in the area. Could have been a turnover. Could have been a catch. Not a terrible play there.
Incompletion for his second and long.
Stars going with their empty set here.
Barreling alone in the shotgun. He's under pressure. Not going to avoid the sack that time. A great defensive move by the Stripes, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Great tackle there in the backfield. Melvin Spells, as we talked about.
Yeah, and Melvin Spells, he's a headhunter. Like you just said, he just went after the quarterback, came off the edge right there, untouched off the edge. And that closing speed, something that makes him so special. He's able to close on the quarterback and get that sack, setting up, a 3rd and forever for the Stars. So we'll see if they can convert and and they have to get to the other side of the 50 here, essentially having to go 30 yards to get a 1st down here.
Long distance for the Stars to go. Send both of the receivers on the right side, and it'll air it out across the middle, and the catch is made. Got the security there, unless it's stripped from him. What was a catch for 7 is an interception. Cy Young from the Fort Wayne Crusaders. What would have been a catch from Grayson Pollock.
And that's again, that's the second time that the Stars have been able to complete a pass and potentially might have had success off of it. But that's just sheer will, sheer effort to get the ball. That's the second time, and it's just looking right now the Stripes want to be here more than the Stars do.
2 interceptions that have looked at first like clear-cut catches have resulted now in great field positioning for the Stars. 2 turnovers already for their secondary as they'll hand it up the middle. This carry by Philip Birchfield from Tri-Cities Christian.
And Birchfield's just a bruiser. He's just a man that can get in between the tackles. He had a very, very great season in his senior year at Tri-Cities Christian Academy. So looking for him to have a big day today.
And 2nd and 5. Under pressure, gets the pass off to the right side for the 1st down. Good awareness and a great catch by Reed Barr from Windsor Academy.
And I know we're paying attention to the play, but I don't know if you saw big number 76, Caden Pajak from Ben's Ford Christian with the pancake there. Pushed him out and then cleaned it up. Getting fired up over there. This offensive line is ready. They're excited, and you got to love an excited offensive line here, Spence.
Yeah, especially with how well their team is doing already. From the 40, it's a keeper trying to get past the last defender, and he does. Got another one to weave through, just making it look so easy, even though there was only a yard gain on the play. The amazing Aiden Burns from Russell Christian making it look easy and showing why they won that CFA state championship in overtime.
Yeah, a little confusion on that play. It looked like it was supposed to be a handoff. Birchfield probably just went the wrong way. But, yeah, again, another reason they won that championship. He's athletic. He's a dual-threat guy. He's not a guy that you would expect to use his legs the way he does. He's sneaky fast. And here goes Birchfield.
Yeah, Birchfield going up the middle or up the left side for a gain of maybe a yard or two. But you were right about Burns. 96 carries on the year, just under 1,000 yards. He has 17 rushing touchdowns, but – you're absolutely right. He's not one of those players you necessarily expect to run because of how comfortable he is in the pocket.
He's so comfortable in the pocket, and look at the weapons he has. He has at his disposal. But those 17 rushing touchdowns is just from a defense not expecting him to run. They're so concerned about the pass that they drop back so far, and he's able to take off. And that's probably where those 17 touchdowns came from this year.
Only a gain of a yard on the last run from Birchfield. As it's aired out across the middle, wide open again for the reception. Shaquan Etheridge receiving touchdown number 15.
Another big play for the Stripes. Etheridge, another guy we've talked about. We've talked about Merritt. We've talked about Barr. We've talked about and just now we're talking about Etheridge. A great job there by Merritt and Etheridge on that connection. Just so many weapons on this Stripes team. I don't know if this Stars team can handle it right now in the first quarter.
Can you believe we're not out of the first quarter yet?
We're just past halfway, and it's already 18-0. That's crazy. But you got to think, Spence. There was two turnovers.
Yep.
There was a quick 3-and-out, and that's just been the turnovers. Is the story of the game right now because, yes, the Stripes had a quick strike. They had that crazy kickoff return to start the game. And then they had that touchdown. And then you got 2 turnovers right after that. That's just been the difference of the game. If you're the Stars, you can't turn the ball over because you were moving the ball to start. And then those 2 turnovers happened, and that just swung the momentum right back to the Stripes.
Caleb Austin successful in the 2-point conversion attempt, and that makes it a 20-0 lead with 5:24 left to go in the first quarter as the Stripes try to set up here for the kickoff. And again, this is so far, I think the Stars have dominated the entire day. I don't think the teams on the Stripes have won any games from today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right now 3-0 for the Stars.
Yes, it's 3-0 for the Stars. I believe the Rising Stars sophomores won this morning. I was just over at the juniors game. They won. The Stars won 50-30. Having a big day on that. A bunch of those Evangel kids and Southern Prep kids showing out in that game. So yeah, the Stars, they've been dominating today.
A return attempt from the 36-yard line. Ben Hirsch trying to get past the defender. He does. Won't be able to get past the other 2 chasing him out of bounds, but he gets down to the 38-yard line. And another great situation of field advantage for the Stars. We'll just see if they can capitalize on it.
And I can't believe I'm saying this already with not even it being the second quarter. But this is already a game-defining drive. It's a game-defining drive for the Stars because you're already down 20-0. You got to put the ball in the end zone. You got to, and you can't turn the ball over. That's been the biggest problem for them. They can't turn the ball over, and they got to punch it into the end zone.
We saw some of those game-defining drives for the Stripes in the 11-man game earlier. Same situation here. It's a keeper for the Stars. Nathan Nelson from the Kansas City East Lions will just take it up the middle and a gain of 2. Nathaniel Nelson had 43 carries for 331 yards on the year, 4 touchdowns. Senior from Kansas City, Missouri, getting the nod to come here to Gatlinburg for the All-American games.
Looks like they're going out with a Twins tight set to the left here.
A gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
I would expect them to run the ball right here. Oh.
Looking for the option across the middle. Found it, immediately met by the defender. A good catch by Grayson Pollock. And moves the down indicator just short of the line of gain.
And that's what the Stars need to do. Take the quick stuff. Take the stuff you can get. Take the chunk yards to be able to drive down the field and eventually put the ball in the end zone. So a great play call right there. Great catch. Great catch and embracing the contact right there. Great way to hang on to the ball.
1 yard to gain on the 3rd and 1. Think they air it out on this one?
The way the game is going, you would think, but I think they're just going to play it safe right here.
Just play it safe, and very much safe when you trust Clay Boatman from the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors in Oneonta, Alabama. Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors had a really good season despite losing in the ACSC championship to the Evangel Lightning. They within the top 3 rankings in the NHSA throughout the season, only dropping because of their loss to the Evangel Lightning in the championship, and had a great season. Of course, Coach Duarte at the helm, a lot of familiarity with the Warriors.
Yeah, and this Lighthouse team, they were very, very good, very athletic this year. And
what a catch in coverage, good reception. And that is the kind of stuff that Nate Locke has been doing the entire year.
And Nate Locke's a really good receiver. He's able to go for the 50-50 ball. He's got great speed. So if they want to have success, they got to utilize Nate Locke and get him the ball. And so far this is the first big play they've had, and Nate Locke has been at the other side of that.
Not quite a 1st and goal. They spotted at the 11-yard line as the Stars try to get their first points of the game.
Going with a motion right here. Look, jet pass.
Motion to the left side, looking for the open space on the edge. Not going to get there. A tackle by Grady Watkins from the Evangel Lightning.
Great play there by Grady Watkins to set the edge. Once the jet pass was made and he was able to get the outside, he didn't let him cut back. He didn't let him get outside or cut back inside. He set the edge. He was able to keep going outside, and that's where all the Stripe defenders were able to clean that up. Great job by the Stripes defense right there.
Only moves them a yard with that stop for a 2nd and 9. Certainly the end zone, the goal here, but not the end-all, be-all. They can at least try to extend the drive if they fall short.
Going in tight, look for them to throw it to the corner of the end zone right here.
Looks like they're going to take that chance. Corner of the end zone in coverage, and even in coverage, the reception made a great catch for the touchdown.
Great job there to complete the pass, something they needed. They needed to score here. Like I just said before this drive started, game-defining drives. You need to be able to put points on the board. Now you're down by 2 scores. It's 153, and you look up, and they're only down by 2 scores, and this game seems a little bit more manageable for the Stars.
Great catch by Grayson Pollock in coverage, the senior from Kansas City, Missouri, as the Stars draw up, whether they will opt to go for 2. And you don't see kickers that often in the 8-man game. Huge benefit when you have it. On the 2-point conversion attempt, it will just be a keeper trying to go up the middle, and no chance there for Nathaniel Nelson to get towards the goal line. So some life shown for the Stars, 20-6 with 1:53 left to go in the first. .153 left to go in the first quarter. A 14-point lead for the Stripes. The Stars showing their first sign of life for the afternoon. And they will try an onside kick attempt, and it'll go the 10 yards, but not a chance for a return as it is fallen on by Reed Chase from Tabernacle Christian.
And I understand the gamble. I understand why taking that chance. You're down by 2 scores. You look for any sign of life right now. And your defense has not been able to start the Stripes offense. They haven't been able to stop Merritt and Etheridge and Austin and Barr. And I understand taking that chance. I wouldn't say that was a bad call at all.
On the 50 for the Stripes, we'll see how they respond to the Stars' first score of the game. You can see a little bit of pressure from the line trying to get in the heads of the Stripes as goes to about the 46-yard line. A good carry from Dominic Pafumi from the East Central Patriots. He had 75 carries on the year for 764 yards. Gets a gain there for 3.
Yeah, and good job just getting the chunk yards here, setting up a 2nd and medium here. See what they come up with. Looks like the Stars are showing pressure. They're going to back out of it. Oh, they're coming.
And pressure and flags there. Who are they going to call in on this time?
Looks like it's going to be number 53 right there for the Stars. Brandon Shealy out of Panthers.
Looks like they'll move it back, and main referee for the game has not been signaling what the penalties are the last couple of times. Can't even get a signal to confirm. So it moves it back into Stripes territory on the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and you saw the Stars were trying to show pressure there, and that's what you got to do. You got to get in the quarterback's face. They've been able to complete the balls down the field constantly. You got to put a little pressure on, and you see it right there. They're showing it. They're bringing 3.
Toss across the middle, a good catch made as a little bit of a space here. Headed up inside of the 30-yard line is Marty McKnight from Rocky Mount Academy.
So like I just said, you got to bring 3. You got to put some pressure on them. But the ultimate, the potential thing that can backfire is you give up the middle, and they ran the middle screens, and they were able to pop that. So great job to take advantage of what the defense was doing.
start at the 27-yard line on this new set of downs and looking for a little bit more than that. Wide open left space for Mason Merritt to run. The senior from Windsor Academy has got one man to beat. He'll push down to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, he was looking over to his right. He had two receivers split out to the right that were able to cross to the middle of the field. Great coverage there by the Stars, and a great adjustment by the quarterback right there to roll out and gain some yards to get him inside the 5.
Just over 30 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Stripes trying to go back up by 20. You've got Burns in the backfield, and we'll hand it off. Going through the middle, practically untouched. A touchdown for the Stripes. A great rushing touchdown by the Stripes' own Marty McKnight. Had that big catch that set him up inside the 30 and then finishes it off with a touchdown.
This offensive line is moving. This offensive line is ready to go. They're fired up. And they've been rotating guys throughout these 4 drives. And they've just been moving the Stars' defensive line. That's been essentially the difference in the game. This offensive line wants it more than the Stars' defensive line. And you can't win football games like that. You can't win football games when your defensive line is back on their heels and getting pushed 10 yards downfield. So they need to figure this out.
The 2-point conversion attempt, the rush up the middle, stopped short of the goal line as tried to go up the middle. The 2-point conversion attempt is no good and leaves the score at a 20-point lead with 22 seconds left to go. I believe that rush attempt was Joshua Lumen from Evangel Christian. He tried going up the middle on the rush and nothing doing there. So gives us about 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter. A 20-point lead for the Stars to try and overcome against the Stripes. As it's only 22 seconds left, as mentioned. And you know, that onside kick attempt we saw from the Stars earlier, it's not uncommon because Coach J.J. Duarte, he's the head coach offensive coordinator, and they've done that kind of stuff before against Evangel and against Ezekiel in some of those games. Even if it doesn't matter where they're at in the game, even if they're down by several touchdowns or up by several touchdowns, they like to do that onside kick to keep the special teams on their toes.
Yeah, you have to bring out a few surprises to be able to win football games. I mean, you got to do whatever it takes to win, and that was a bold move that in the moment didn't seem like a terrible idea, but essentially it kind of backfired for him.
And this kind of onside kick attempt unsuccessful. Grayson Pollock immediately picks it up, and they will start at the 47-yard line for their drive. And maybe they'll just do a rush here, depending on if they want to swap sides of the field or try to rush it down here.
Yeah. I could see them doing that, but none of these coaches really want to play field position, do they? Just with all these onside kicks, they're willing to give them free yards. So, kind of an interesting approach today from these 2 head coaches.
And you know, Coach Duarte was here fairly recently. Of course, they had the competition. Him and Coach Yeomans were here in the Black Bear Brawls back in August. Nice to see them both on the same team coaching in these All-American games. Rush up the middle and maybe a little bit more, as here's the Stars' own Brad Caldwell spinning out of a tackle, trying to get to the goal line, and he goes inside the 5. The Oak Brook Prep senior rushes down, and what a way to potentially end the first quarter by getting inside the 5.
And that's a great job there by that Stars offensive line, able to break him open, break him free. He was able to run down the sideline, break through a tackle from Caleb Austin, stayed on his feet, and he was able to get down inside the 5 to potentially get them up. And it looks like the time stopped, so they're able to probably get one more play off.
Yeah, he got out of bounds. Official ruled the clock for stopping, which it would have stopped on a first down anyways. But with 6 seconds left, a chance for the Stars to punch in another score at the end of the first, trying to go forward as time expires. Won't get past the line of scrimmage. 12 minutes down in the senior 8-man football All-American Bowl here in Gatlinburg. 26-6, the Stripes lead over the We welcome you back to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the final game in the All-American Bowls festivities here on the Smoky Mountains. Toss across the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for the Stars. Travis Barnhill across the middle, back of the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, you saw a little trickery right there. He was faked the handoff and looked like he was going to boot out to his right, and he threw it back to his left. And that's just a play you got to have. Hit him right in the hands. It was a clear-cut touchdown, but not able to score right there. So let's see where they come up with a 3rd and goal. Maybe a little bit of a power play, maybe a little bit of a jet sweep to the outside. But if you want to be able to score and be able to and feel good about it, I just run it right up the middle here.
Now a 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Stars trying to punch it in to get it back, as looking up the middle, trying to find an option, going towards the goal line and stopped short. That is the Stars' Nathaniel Nelson, who gets stopped short. He had 43 carries for 331 yards on the year, looking for rushing touchdown number 5 on the season.
Yeah, it was a QB draw, but he had nowhere to go. That Stripes defensive line plugged up everything and made it almost impossible for him to pick a lane to go to, and great job by that Stripes defensive line stopping him and making him have no gain.
4th and goal, and with neither team having a field goal kicker, at least in the Stars' case, they'll go for it. Such short distance, and timeout called by the Stripes. Did not like what they saw in that play. They burned their first timeout of the half with 11:11 left to go in the second. Chance for the Stripes to think it over, 26-6. And this rush up the middle, it's a fake. Trickery for the touchdown. Nathan Nelson to the left side.
Little Peyton Manning action right there, Spence, am I right?
And there is a flag down, however, over on the 5-yard line. And he's signaling to the away bench for, I think it's a hold on the offense, so they're going to move it back.
Turnovers and penalties has been the name of the game for this Stars offense. Just can't catch a break right here.
Touchdown wiped off of the board, and it moves them back with the holding call to the 11-yard line.
So now look for them to take a shot. Take a shot into the end zone. Look for a fade, a corner route. You don't really want to throw anything to the middle of the field when you've got Caleb Austin and his counterpart back there. You don't want to take that chance. So look for a good one-on-one matchup. Pick that matchup and try to score on that matchup. Yeah, this matchup here at the bottom of the screen. I like this right here. Look for them to go that way to the bottom of your screen.
Send 30 in motion, looking for the chance, under pressure, manages to ignore duress, but it's intercepted. Forced to make a decision he may not have wanted to do, and headed down the right side. He's got one blocker, and there's a flag deep down for the backfield, but an interception return to the 40-yard line, and it is picked off by the Stripes. 32, Joshua Lumen from Evangel Christian.
Yeah, and great play by Lumen. He was able to read that thing like a book, stay with this guy, able to pick it off. We're going to see if this turnover holds. But another costly turnover by this Stars offense. You can't make mistakes like that. You've been able to get into the red zone. You're able to take time off the clock and chew into this deficit. But ultimately, you come up short once again. So you really got to call on your defense, stand up here, and make it take a stand.
is a block in the back ruled on the intercepting team, so it was called after the pick was made. Just moves it back instead of from the 40-yard line. They enforce it from the previous spot, and now on the 15-yard line, but still an interception for the Stripes.
Yeah, and then if you're the Stripes, you just want to build off of that. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Stripes start getting cute here, a little trick play action going with this empty set right here. Anything can happen.
Starting from their own 15, a scramble to the left side has got some space to weave through the defenders and brought down at about the 18-yard line. Not a whole lot of room for him to work with, but Aiden Burns making it work.
Yeah, and Aiden Burns is a QB draw right there, able to get outside, make a couple people miss, gain about 4 or 5 yards. So, yeah, you're just – I feel like they're just setting them up for something to come back with, going out with this Twins left set.
Okay.
Looks like just a dive play.
Just a dive play indeed. Goes up the middle. That's a carry by Philip Birchfield from Tri-Cities Christian. Brings it up for about to the 25-yard line. Option look for again. The catch is made. Left side trying to cut inside. Pushing through for the first down. Great maneuvering by Cy Young.
Looks like he just checked it down there to his receiver. Looked like they were trying to set up a wheel right there, but the Stars secondary wasn't biting on that, so they tried to take the check down to Joshua Lumen.
And the ball is loose in the backfield. Who's going to fall? And it's still loose. And it looks like the Stripes recovered it, waiting for a signal. And they're just going to rule it down for a third. Could have been dangerous there. And back to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're the Stars, you got to get that. You got to get that turnover. So great stop here. Looks like we're going to set up third and medium. So you got to take a stand right here. You got to get after the quarterback. Bring pressure. You've only been bringing 3. You got to bring 4 or 5 in 8-man football. You got to take chances. You got to get to the quarterback, and if that means giving up maybe something short, you're willing to take that chance to potentially get a sack. You got to bring 3. Looks like they only have 2 down right now, though.
We got a 3rd and 5, and looks like we've got a timeout called by the Stars with 8:38 left to go here in the second quarter. 26-6, Stripes leading over the. Toss to the right side on a 3rd and 5. Couldn't get really past the line down to the 31. That was a catch. I believe Melvin Spells actually was going to the right there. And nothing doing.
Yeah, just took the check down right there to Spells. Good safe play. Didn't really no gain on that. You just want to play safe right there. So great job, and going to give the ball back to the Stars offense. If you're the Stripes, you feel comfortable with that decision. You've been able to stop the Stars all day on defense, even inside your own territory in the red zone, and you've been able to stop them. So if you're the Stripes, you should be feeling really good right now.
It was actually Marty McKnight that they tossed it on there. My apologies. And usually it's so hard to bring him down, but they managed to bring him down there. And Stripes just opt to punt it away, and we will have a return. This time attempted by the Stripes, and he shoved down as that was Luke Jones from Tuscaloosa Christian trying to go forward, and he stopped at the 42.
And I believe that was Shaquan Etheridge with that hit, which we've grown to expect from Etheridge. He's a great player on both sides of the ball. So great job there stopping that return. So great coverage and good punt. Now the Stars offense set up just outside of enemy territory, seeing if they can get something going on this offensive drive.
Stars begin this offensive journey on their 43-yard line. Have a man in motion to join in the backfield. They'll lob it to the right side. This carry by Brad Caldwell from Oak Brook Prep, and he gets down to about the 47-yard line.
I don't understand why the Stars offense is still wanting to run outside. Run outside with these toss sweeps, with these outside zones. This Stripes defense just has too much speed. You can't get outside of them. You got to gash them through the middle. You got to air it out. You take the quick stuff. And when they were when they were using the quick game, it was working. So expect them to go back to that. But I would try to get away from the outside zone and toss sweeps. It's just the Stripes defense is just too fast for them.
From the 47, a quick toss to the left side, incomplete. Pass intended for Brock Passons from Grace Academy in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Usually not a catch that he misses.
No, he went up from one hand there. It could have been an easy catch if he had used two hands, but it was a little bit ahead of him. But if he had used two hands, he probably could have brought that in. So another third and long situation here for the Stars. You got to think this might be 4-down territory with just above 6.5 minutes to go. So you're down 20 points. So you got to think. You got to take a shot here and set up 4th down.
About a 3rd and 6 in the backfield from about the 38. Aired out while under pressure and almost another intercepted, but that'll go down as a pass defended by Ray Shaw.
Great job by Ray Shaw batting that thing down, taking the safe approach and not maybe tipping it up for a touchdown, just taking the safe approach there to batting it down, and that's what these defensive coaches preach to find the ball, bat it down, don't take anything, don't do anything unnecessary because potentially it could backfire you and the ball can end up in the offensive player's hands. So great job there by Barr knocking the ball down, setting up a Stars punt here.
So punt from their own 47-yard line, almost blocked. Would have been a great block had it been pulled off by the senior from Franklin Christian Academy, Daniel Francis. And that goes back to the 20-yard line.
Well, he was probably 1 second away from blocking that thing. Daniel Francis, a big senior lineman, playing both sides of the ball for the Franklin Christian Academy Falcons. Great athlete. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's got a really high motor. You saw right there. Trying to take that ball off the punter's foot. So expect big things from Daniel Francis in the future at the next level.
He gave you guys a lot of trouble in the Battle of Franklin. That's right. Wasn't it this year the Battle of Franklin didn't get scheduled?
The Battle of Franklin, no, it did not get scheduled this year, but we did play him in the Jamboree, and he gave us all that he had. Mm-hmm. When you have Francis Daniels and you got Jude King, it's kind of hard. So
a double reversal that ends up in a mistake, but fortunate enough that the lineman was able to fall on it. Caden Pajak from Bensford Christian able to fall on it.
And just like I said, that FCA team is a really good team. They're really well coached. Daniel Francis is a good product of that. So looking forward to seeing this rest of the game, see what Daniel Francis does. Just got a chance to watch his teammate Jude King, who had a big day over at the junior game. So really excited to see what they do here.
Brings a loss of about 8 on the play for 2nd and 18. As it seems like this second quarter has gone a little bit faster than the first did, with 5:30 and winding down left to go here before halftime. And quick toss across the middle. That's a good catch. Open space here for the Stripes to work with. Nobody else in his way. Here goes Marty McKnight, is going to go the distance. How about a 70-plus yard receiving touchdown?
Yes, Marty McKnight got that touchdown, but that play was made by Caleb Austin, getting 2 big blocks on that coming back, no block in the back, no blindside block, was able to turn his head and extend his arms now, not going in with the shoulder. So that play was made by Caleb Austin, but finished by Marty McKnight. Great job by the Stripes offense right there.
I tell you, Caleb Austin, he's been fantastic for the Evangel Lightning throughout his career. One of many reasons why they won the national championship this year and through the time he's been in the Lightning system. And, you know, part of it as well, this team is coached, they're led by Jeremy Boskin, but you have your defensive coordinator, Clay Romano, from Evangel, as well as their assistant coach, Blake Thompson, who, Coach Thompson, he was under Coach Nick Saban. He was within their coaching system and has very much been immersed in a winning culture in a sense, and he's been a good supportive staff member, including it also helps that his son has been great in the football scene. Tossed inside of the end zone for the two-point conversion. That is complete. Two-point conversion attempt made this time by Reed Barr, the senior from Windsor Academy, and that brings us to 5:01 left to go in the second quarter, and 34-6, but it doesn't feel like it's 34-6.
No, it's 34-6, but it really feels like the Stripes have had control of this entire game from the get-go. It really feels in this atmosphere of the stadium, it feels like it's 56-0. That's how it feels right now because the Stripes have just been dominating. They have so many key players on both sides of the field, both sides of the ball. So look to see what the Stars can come up with here, and hopefully they can come up with a few scores to make this a little bit more interesting.
And they'll attempt a low squib kick that'll go to about the 32-yard line, and a return attempt as collides with his own man. That was Nate Locke, who collided with his own player trying to get the return down, and he'll be stopped at the 39-yard line. And the Stars will try to get back to work to get something going. We'll see what offensive coordinator and head coach J.J. Duarte will cook up this time.
We talked about Melvin Spells, but Shaquan Etheridge has been everywhere.
Yep.
He's been everywhere on defense. He's been everywhere on offense. He's been everywhere on special teams that he just made that tackle. So Shaquan Etheridge is really playing out of his mind right now, and maybe we'll see Melvin Spells bit off that sack he had earlier. So look for those two guys to have a bigger impact on the game later on.
From the 39-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Even the yards after contact are still impressive for players like Clay Boatman from the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors.
And that's what they needed to do. They needed to run inside the guards, inside the tackles. The Stripes defense is too fast on the edges. You can't outrun them. So that's what they need to do. Yards after contact is key. You need to average at least 3 to 4 yards per carry. He got about 11. So that's what you need to do and set up the run. Start running so you can set up the pass, so you can take a deep shot, because that's essentially what the Stripes offense has been doing, be able to set up the run to take the deep shots to Caleb Austin and Reed Barr, and essentially that's what the Stars need to try to do to gain success.
From the 49-yard line, airing it out across the middle, and it's picked off. The Stripes get another interception, and standing tall and proud of that pick is none other than Zero himself, Ray Shaw.
Ray Shaw has already had, 2 interceptions today? Two interceptions today for Ray Shaw. He's had a really good day today at the Gatlinburg All-American Bowl. So this defense is dominating. This offense is dominating. So we'll see if they can we'll see if they can go for 60 before halftime in the last 4 minutes, so they can pull that off.
And he only had 1 interception on the regular season. Showed up on the defensive side with 91 tackles and has already got a handful of them today. Deep toss left side, looking for the reception. He's got it. Jonah Williams from Bensford Christian. One man to beat, brought down the touchdown saving tackle by Travis Barnhill. We covered in the open is very much a key player for the Stars to keep him in contention, and that prevented it from getting even more ugly.
And plays like that by Travis Barnhill is what makes him an all-star. He's willing to put in the effort to prevent those big plays and touchdowns like that. He's not your every down guy. He's not a guy that makes a lot of big plays, but he's a guy that will get you out of trouble. He'll get you out of trouble, and he'll save your life sometimes on big plays like that. So good job by Travis Barnhill to stall that big play.
I mean, he just has everything for Jacksonville Christian. Did that this entire season, as this time it's carried up by Dominic Pafumi. He had 75 carries for 764 yards in the year, as we mentioned. Got tripped up behind the line that time. With his run, it was a 1st and goal inside, and now a 2nd and goal. As looking for the pass on the right side. He's got the catch, trying to stiff arm his way into the end zone. Avoided the tackle, diving for the pylon. Touchdown!
Great effort there to get to the edge, to dive for the pylon. He was not going to be denied there, Spencer. The Stripes team just too much, too powerful for the Stars defense.
A great reception by Josh White from Tri-Cities Christian. At least that's what it looks like on his number here. Looked like 63 made the catch. A great play for the senior from Bluntville, Tennessee.
Yeah, and he made a lot of big plays for the Eagles this year, and he's a really big he was a really big impact on that team. And they're surely going to miss him next year. But let's see if they utilize him here on this 2-point conversion.
Send another receiver on the inside. Keeper trying to get to the end zone. It'll be stuffed by the Stars secondary. And you could see a little bit of frustration there from Aiden Burns. He was trying to get it in, and that makes it a 40-6 game with 2:42 left to go in the first half. Now, 34-point lead. Another 2 points would have potentially made it a modified mercy rule running clock, but 34-point lead right now. Stripes kicking off again with about under 3 minutes left to go here, as this will be a squib kick that they will opt to let it just go out of bounds, and it was touched off of the Stars' Luke Jones, so no penalty there for a free kick out of bounds, and they'll start on the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and these last two offensive drives for the Stars has really stalled based off turnovers. Rebar coming up with 2 consecutive interceptions. Rebar has really been the big guy here, coming up big for the Stripes defense. But look for Melvin Spells. Look for him to make some plays. He's been really quiet since that last sack he had in the first quarter. Look for him to start to come alive here in the second quarter, right before the half. And you got big Daniel Francis there in the middle. Look for him to make some disruption down there. He did a really good job for the Falcons this year. Look for him to try to cause some chaos to the Stars' offensive line.
Begin this drive from the 32-yard line. Stars trying to get something going on offense. This is aired out up the middle in double coverage. Another interception. The Stripes get another pick. This time it's Zion Thompson.
Yeah, and if you're the quarterbacks for the Stars, you gotta find better spots to throw that ball. You threw that ball in double coverage. You threw the ball in no man's land for the second pick that Rebar had, and then you threw it another time in double coverage. So you just got to pick a better spot to throw the ball. Throw the ball to the open guy. If not, take off and run or throw it away. Take the safe play. Check it down. Do what Merritt's been doing for the Stripes offense. Check it down. Take the safe stuff. If not, take off and run if you see green grass. So another costly turnover there. And the Stripes, again, have 2.5 minutes to put another 6 to 8 points on the board here.
Zion Thompson on the season had 11 interceptions. He was one of the top 5, I think top 3 leaders in the nation for 8-man football and interceptions, and especially with his father coaching him in his final game of his high school career on the sideline, has to be happy about that. How about the star from Tri-Cities Christian, Philip Birchfield, for another rush and another big gain to the 36-yard line?
Yeah, this Stars defense, they just look out of it right now. The morale's really low for the Stars team, and they got to wake up here if you want to have a chance. Crazy things can happen in the game of football. We've always learned that. So just take the Titans, for instance, 2 weeks ago, coming back with 2 minutes under Will Levis, leading them for the comeback win there. So anything's possible. The deficit wasn't quite this large, but anything is possible.
Yeah, don't mention that to our producer, Jack Helwig.
Sorry, Jack.
His FanDuel was not happy with that. As a scramble for Mason Merritt to the left side, looking for the option. He avoids the tackle. Looked like it initially, but again, Travis Barnhill, a big reason why the Stars are, for the most part, they're staying in it in drives, but the challenge is, as much as Barnhill's stats show it, he can't do everything, especially against the tough opponents on the other side.
No, you can't do everything. I mean, when you're a star of the team, you're expected to trust the guys around you. You're not expected to you're the do-it-all guy, but you're not essentially just the do-it-all guy, if you know what I mean. So Barnhill, he's making good plays right there.
Merritt's going to air it out to the left side, and the catch is made. This one, reception by,
I believe it was incomplete.
And they ruled it incomplete there. That's number 10 for the Stripes, who gets credit for the incompletion. That's Jonah Williams from Bensford Christian. Looked pretty close, like it almost interception, or it looks like a reception in real time.
Yeah, it was just a little pump fake to the screen with a wheel on the backside of that. So good play right there to knock that ball away, incomplete pass. So let's see what they can get going here. It's 3rd and medium. Expect it to be a 4-down territory. I mean, it's 8-man football. Everything is 4-down territory in 8-man football. So let's see what happens here with Etheridge in the backfield.
3rd and 5, and they're going to think it over for the Stripes with calling a timeout with 1:17 left to go before the half. They're leading by 34, trying to make it another score on the board, which would be a mercy rule after the second half, pending anything that occurs with the Stars. And it's unfortunate being potentially 2 games in a row in that regard. And you also think for the Stars, you wonder what adjustments are going to be made, if any, to try and get things going. Because the challenge is you can make adjustments, but you also have to make sure you cycle everybody in fairly, since it's an all-star game.
Yeah, it's an all-star game. From a football perspective, you got to get out of man coverage. You got to get out of man coverage. You're not winning the one-on-ones. These receivers are running right past you. You got to play zone. They're taking deep shots. They're setting you up with a run. They're taking deep shots. So get into a cover 3, a cover 2, a cover 4. So that way you're able to sit back, wait for anything, and keep everything out in front of you. See what the Stars come up with the second half. But right now they're facing with the Stripes offense threatening on their side of the field. I would expect a very heavy dose of Shaquan Etheridge right here, Spencer.
It's been the case pretty much the entire game. And Merritt is going to air it out towards the right side. And a catch, trying to weave through the last man to get to the end zone. He's drug down, and a great catch on the right side for the Stripes.
But there's a flag on the field, so it looks like it's going to be a hold, and it's going to come back.
Yeah, it's a hold going back the other way. Etheridge made the catch, wiped off the board, and it'll bring it back for the Stripes. Though, as we've seen as the trend of the game, penalties like that don't really have a negative effect on them, aside from wiping off scoring plays.
This Stripes offense is just too dynamic, too electric, too high-powered. And these penalties are not going to phase them that much. And when you got guys that can go out and make plays for you, just like what we saw, it's really not a big worry in your mind, especially in an all-star game. They're out here to have fun and make plays. And so let's see what they come up with. They're going with the Twins right set. So I expect another pass here with 57 seconds left. Take a shot.
About 3rd and 14 from the 42-yard line.
The Stars crowd's pretty into it.
Got a lot of rumbling we could hear from the bleachers on the other side.
Feels like a Friday night right now.
Still trying to show some energy as another timeout is called by the Stripes with 35 seconds left to go in the first half. Stripes are going to take some time to think it over. "35 seconds left to go in the first half. Stripes trying to add some more damage on here. They lob it back. A great play and execution that goes out of bounds. The lob back to the Stripes. I believe that was McNulty, and it absolutely was. He got the lob, got out of bounds, and doesn't get enough for the first down on about a 4th and 5, but leaves him 29 seconds to work with.
29 seconds. It's 4th and manageable. Take a shot here. You got time running out. Look for this this matchup right here at the top of your screen. You got Caleb Austin at the top of your screen. He's a dynamic wide receiver. I'd take a shot to him or a quick game shot, maybe an out route, maybe a quick slant, try to get something going.
Looking for the quick slant across, and looks like he didn't catch it. Official rule that it goes on the ground. Etheridge trying to secure it, and that'll be a turnover on downs. A good stand by the Stars defense.
Good stop right there by the Stars defense. I think this is the first drive that the Stripes have not gotten points.
First one.
So this is with 21 seconds left. Big stop there by the Stars, down 34 points. So let's see if they can come up with something. You got to take 2 or 3 shots. You got time for 2 or 3, maybe 4, if you are able to get out of bounds. So run maybe a quick corner route, quick out route to get down the field. I would not run the ball. You don't want the time to keep running. So you got to take a shot down the field, get out of bounds, and hopefully get down the field into the end zone pretty quickly.
21 seconds for them to work with no timeouts. Airing it out across the middle and tripped up. There is no flag, no pass interference on either side. And it looked like it was just incidental contact on that in real time.
Yeah, it was just incidental contact. Just a trip up by both parties. Good no call there. So that leaves 13 seconds left on the clock. So take another shot here. Probably 2 more. You only got time for 2 more shots here. So you want to take 1 shot, get out of bounds. Probably a deep corner route, deep out route to set up essentially a Hail Mary situation. Just come up with something real quick. Don't stand in the pocket too long if you're the Stars quarterback. Get that ball out quick and to set up for yourself for a possible scoring situation.
From about the 30, aired out as he's driven to the ground. An incomplete pass. Great coverage there by Ray Shaw. And still 5 seconds left to go, so likely the last play of the first half.
Likely the last play. Just throw it up. Just hope something good comes out of it. But if Ray Shaw's near the ball, it's probably going to be an incomplete pass. Ray Shaw's been balling out today. Senior out of John Paul II Catholic. He's been balling out today, Spencer. Hopefully some coaches and scouts have been noticing him today.
What's likely the final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty, is a 3rd and 10 from the 31.
Looks like they might just run this out.
And they're going to look for a pass under pressure, just lobbing it up, and that's interception number 3. That's Aiden Burns picking it off, and he's got some space if he could get the blockers. He's got one man to beat, trying to cut inside, trying to spin out of the last tackle, and he will not get to the end zone. Got there close, but got another interception, and that is going to take us to the end of the first half. 40-6, a 34-point lead for the Stripes over the Stars in this All-American Bowl game for high school 8-man football in 2023. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with your coverage of the second half right here on 8-Man Extreme. We will keep ambient noise on for the All-American cheerleaders giving their halftime show here in the Smokies. We welcome you back to the Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Legion Field in Hammond Stadium hosts the 2023 Gatlinburg All-American Bowl for the seniors of high school 8-man football. Hosted the 11-man All-American game earlier, as well as the Rising Stars game. Lower Field for the first time here at Rocky Top Sports World hosted the juniors 8-man football contest. And we are in the final half of football for this weekend. And to my knowledge, the final amount of high school football around the nation in 2023. So should be special to see this final half there as this free kick goes out of bounds. Spencer Thompson, Eli Cornett, producers Jack Helwig and Alex Chasen. I want to give a special shout out to our camera crew and Brendan Daniel and Blake Biggs and I'm sure James will kill me. I know it's Timmy. I don't know his last name, but Timmy helping us on camera as well. James Shannon holding all the glue together as much as possible. And we're proud to bring you the action here from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. A lot of us have been awake since about 6 o'clock this morning, 6:30.
Timothy Aldrett.
Thank you. We've been on site since about 8 a.m., 8:30 this morning for covering all the contests, and right when they announced all of the MVPs for the games, packed things up, several heading back tonight, some staying in town for the evening. Always a good tradition to end the high school 8-man football season and the 11-man football season here on the mountain. As the free kick going out of bounds, they'll re-kick it from the 35, and looks like there was no contact there by 32, but fell on it at the 20-yard line. So essentially a touchback as the Stars try to get back to work and get something going here on the offensive side.
Yeah, and they've been struggling. They've turned the ball over 4 times on 6 drives. They were down inside the red zone, down at the 5-yard line, and they were threw a pick there, and then they had a costly pick to Zion Thompson of Evangel Christian Academy. So it's been a tough sledding for the Stars offense today. Hopefully they can put some more points on the board. But this Stripes defense has been all over the place with Ray Shaw and Shaquan Etheridge and Melvin Spells, and it's just been a very tough day for the Stars offense.
As they try to get something going, but tripped up in the backfield, nowhere to go for Brad Caldwell from Oakbrook Prep. Gets tripped up for a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah, that was Melvin Spells making that tackle. He was awfully quiet to end that first half, but here he is again making a big play. So look for him and Ray Shaw to come up big to stop this Stars offense that has really been stagnant up until now.
On a 2nd and long, quick screen to the left. Trying to find some space, but gets past the final man. Maybe a little bit of life on the Stripes if he could stay in bounds. Forced out, but a good catch and run by Ben Hirsch.
Yeah, just a good bubble route there by Hirsch. Able to turn it upfield, make a man miss, get the ball up to, I believe they're marking it at the 38-yard line. So way to get out of deep into the enemy territory, get it up near the 40. So you a little bit of sign of life, like you just said there, Spencer. Able to convert onto not convert, but get a first down to get a new set of downs and hopefully move the chains once again.
Brings them up to the 38-yard line. And it's a fake heading up the middle, finding a huge gap all the way down to the 50-yard line. Great awareness, great execution by Nathaniel Nelson.
Yeah, great job there. Good tough run there by the young man. Going up right to the middle, getting to the other side of the 50 into enemy territory. Great job there by Nelson picking up those tough yards. The Stars offense, they got something cooking here, taking the short stuff. Nelson making a lot smart play right there, getting finding the green grass and taking off and getting another first down.
This drive has already shaved off 4 minutes, which doesn't feel like it. It's really flown by.
Singing into another pro formation right here.
And they give it again. Nathaniel trying to push forward. He'll be stopped at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a half of a yard gained there for moving one forward for a 2nd and 9. I also want to give a proper shout out to for the Stripes, Hunter Adkins. He was selected for the Gatlinburg All-American Bowls, but still nursing an injury that I believe he acquired a couple weeks before the national championship. It certainly acquired it within the last month and a half. He's still on the sideline cheering his guys, and we do have a running clock going on right now in this contest, which is why it's shaved down 4 minutes. There's no stoppage right now with it being a 34-point lead, and just already getting it to run, and looks like the teams have usually with the running clock, it's down to the coaches' agreement. They've agreed with 34 points. No need to try to have any more excess stoppages.
Yeah, no more excess stoppages. Like you said, no more damage that needs to be done. It's clear that the Stripes are going to win this game. So great job by the Stripes today, and I know it's only the third quarter. Anything can happen, but let's see if they're able to convert on this 3rd down.
Fake the shovel pass. Nathaniel will just keep it up the middle. It's another good decision there by Nathaniel Nelson as he gets up to about the 41-yard line for a 4th and short.
Yeah, Nathaniel Nelson, good tough run there again by the young man, setting up a 4th and manageable. They have to go for it here. It's 4th and 2, 4th and 1, somewhere in that range. So they need to pick up this 4th down to have any sign of life in this football game.
And you mentioned it earlier, in 8-man football, pretty much every down is go for it. And there's even if you say 4th down territory, it's always go for it territory. Short by 1, and a timeout will be called by the Stripes. They didn't like the look on that one, so they'll get a chance to think it over with 5:40 left to go in the 3rd. Stripes get a chance to think it over. 40-6 lead with a running clock as it's resumed again. And Stripes facing a 4th down, or I beg your pardon, the Stars facing a 4th down and 1. This defense trying to stop it, and the ball is loose, and it's picked back up by the Stars on the fumble, which doesn't matter anyways. A turnover on downs, as Cy Young and company not allowing anything from the Stars.
Yeah, it looked like just a little bit of a miscommunication right there from quarterback to running back. Just missed the handoff. Running back or the quarterback turned the wrong way, and the Stripes defense was able to sniff it out. So you probably could expect more points here by the Stripes. Marty McKnight's been really big for them today. Caleb Austin has been basically all over the field today, blocking, catching, and running the ball. So expect him, and Mason Merritt's been dishing it out today. So expect them to, again, put another good drive together.
Toss to the left side. A good catch made by Caleb Austin, who cuts over to about the 50-yard line. And that'll not move the chains for a 1st down, 2 yards short, but a good run, catch and run by Austin.
There's a reason that Evangel has won these national championships. And one of those biggest examples of winning those championships. One of those best players that's been a part of it has been Caleb Austin. He's been really a big part of that team. I know they're sad to see him go, but they have a lot of guys coming up that we saw in the sophomore game, we saw in the junior game. They have a lot of guys coming up, and they have a lot of guys in the junior game that are going to fill his role as a leader next year. So really excited to see what this Evangel team could do next year.
It's always that next man up mentality with the Lightning as they continue to run people through the Evangel system, as we call it. As this ball carried by Philip Birchfield goes for a first down to move the chains to about the 45-yard line. And I always talk about the gold standard of the Evangel Lightning and how it's so difficult to beat them, whether it's at the regular season level or state championship level, national championship level. It's even the same thing on the All-Star game.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Spree game where there's always that chirp of like, who do you think is going to win? And told them any team that has the Evangel Lightning on it is going to be dangerous to mess with, to even challenge. And you're seeing that play out here.
And it's been that way for the past 4 years. All these Evangel players have been a part of it as you get another deep shot right here.
There's a great sling. And incomplete. Would have been a touchdown catch had Etheridge pulled it in. Not a drop he makes often.
Going back to Evangel, Spencer, I need a quick prediction from you. So who do you think will be facing – let's just already assume Evangel's going to be in the championship next year for their conference. Who do you think is going to be facing Evangel next year?
ACSC?
Yeah, who do you think is going to be facing Evangel next year in their conference championship? Let me get your early prediction.
I'd have to look again at the rosters just to remind myself of how many seniors are graduating from each of them. You see a couple of the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors seniors graduating. Ezekiel Academy has got a new head coach that's trying to establish the culture. So in East Central is starting to be a little bit on the rise. And a miscommunication and a flag, a bailout on that false start happening there, as they just call it a false start and lucky break for the Stripes. I could see it again being Evangel and Lighthouse, but it really depends on as you know this, especially if you're playing and being on the coaching staff. High school football is so volatile. Seeing something like Evangel is just almost impossible. But I could see Lighthouse. Maybe East Central if they start getting things going. But more than likely Lighthouse as long as they're not graduating too many seniors, because they've been good the last couple of years.
Yeah, that would be my prediction as well, Spencer. You make a good point looking at the rosters and seeing what the roster turnover is going to be like. And I have another prediction for you in a little bit that I want you to make, but we'll let this drive play out.
There's a scramble and toss just to open space in the area of receiver, but rare pressure there. I beg your pardon. It's actually pretty much the story of the game. Merritt hasn't been able to do anything. He's been under such duress throughout the game.
Yeah, Merritt's been. Defenders have been in his face. He's been able to complete really good passes to Caleb Austin, Rebar, Shaquan Etheridge, and Marty McKnight. He's balled out today. He's had a little bit of a struggle here and there, but he's been able to ball out today. So really good job on his part. Slinging the rock around to all his all-star teammates this weekend.
You said you got a prediction for me. We'll talk about it after this play. 3rd and 15. Merritt will sling it in the middle, and that's incomplete, so that'll bring up a 4th down. Another rare stop. I think only the second time the Stars have stopped him. So prediction time, I suppose.
Yeah. So you've been doing the national championship in Panama City for a very long time. You've seen a lot of great games and a lot of good teams. Who do you think will be in Panama City this time next year?
The future is certainly is very uncertain with the national championship for how things are going to play out. It's certainly challenging because you've got so many teams that are afraid to go to Florida because of Evangel being down there.
Yeah.
And there were talks, as this is aired out deep across the middle and incomplete and clean coverage there. There's so many talks about what at least going into this season of whether Evangel would go down again or not. As we'll stay here at the end of the third quarter. But there were so many talks about whether or not Evangel would go down in 8-man or if they'd go down in 11-man or something like that because they're not getting any challenges. And you've got so many schools who still prioritize basketball over football, and because of that, and no disrespect to the teams that went down this year or in years past, but you don't have the absolute best teams going down to Florida. You don't have them going down and necessarily giving as equitable of a challenge to the Lightning. The only time from the games I've called over the last several years for the national championship where they had equitable challenge was 2018 with CCS, but that had to be 2 games because of Hurricane Harvey recoveries, moving the game up to Dayton, about an hour and a half away from where we are now. You had the 2019 championship with Ezel Harding where it went to overtime, and then the semifinal in 21 with Grace Baptist. That's where Evangel met their match, and that was also because their starting quarterback was out with a concussion, and they managed to win by, I believe, 7 or 14. So the challenge is, can you get the best teams down to Florida? And can you get teams that are going to be very equitable in matching up against the Lightning? And that's the challenge. Does Evangel go down again? Because, they've won 6 straight. They don't necessarily have anything to prove at this point. It's really tough to tell, like, early on who's going to go down there, because certainly you would hope that the SEEK champion usually goes down to Panama City this year.
Sometimes the runner-up goes down there
Sometimes
as well.
runner-up, which the Heat went down this year, and maybe the Freedom Cowboys will go down there again. But it's just so up in the air. And who knows? Maybe the national championship will change its format.
All right, well, then let me give you my 4, because I already have a pretty good.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think Evangel's going to be down there again. They're
defend their title.
They defend their title, yes. I believe Pack is going to make it back down there again. So I believe them. The Freedom Cowboys, I expect them to go down there again, runner-up, champion or not. I expect them to go down. They took the year off this year. And that 4th spot's kind of up for question. You don't really know who's going to go down there. So those are my 3. I really don't have a 4th right now.
So you got Evangel, Pack Panthers. Who was your 3rd one? You say Freedom?
I said Freedom.
Freedom. Okay.
And maybe the Heat. If they're runner-up, maybe the Heat. But I really want to see FCA go down there. That'd be quite the fun.
Coach Johnson has made it very clear that they value basketball over going down in the national championship. He's, at least, from his standpoint, he came from the TSSAA, and they didn't have anything like that, so he doesn't see the value in it, even though there's been conversations about them going down, which it would be interesting, especially because I know there's also that rumor mill that FCA has talked about going to 11-man at some point in their future, especially because they're just dominating the TSIAA. But it's you would wonder if, say, for example, if they have their final year in 8-man football, you would think they'd use that opportunity to go down to Florida and prove once and for all that they are the best team in not just the region but the nation for 8-man football. I don't know if Coach Johnson is watching, or if anybody from Franklin Christian is watching, but certainly we've covered Panama City Beach several times. It's well worth the experience, as you see a carry here to the left side for the Stars. You have Nate Locke is going to the left, but it's worth the experience. I think at least as many conference champions as you could get down to Florida would be the best case scenario.
And also some of these teams that have never been down there before.
Right.
Some of these teams that even I have even learned that existed. Like I didn't know that Fort Wayne I didn't know they existed until just now. I didn't know that Ben's Ford Christian didn't exist till now. So it'd be really cool to see some of these teams, not because the national championship's really been contained on the teams from the South. I would love to see some of these other teams come and compete, so we can really see what they can do, because we really don't have exposure in broadcasting for all their games. So really cool. It would be really cool to see those teams come down and join us in Florida.
And wide open, heading for the end zone, is going to be a catch, and not sure why he cut inside there. He could have probably just pushed towards the end zone, but just short. That is a
He's
big
just trying
catch.
out new stuff.
Right.
He's just trying out new stuff. He's getting ready for the next level. He's just trying out new stuff.
Yeah, Luke Jones with the catch there for the Stars, and just cut short on there. But last thought I'll say on Florida, it depends on even if the format changes, because they've had Division I and Division II in the past. Depends on if they open up the voting to coaches and media members to actually vote stuff, or even if they put only teams on the rankings who actually care about going to the national championship. That could certainly change the format and change the landscape as well.
And Russell Christian's always in those rankings, and they always make noise, so expect them to make a run too.
As we got a touchdown rushing up the middle. Looked like it was Brad Caldwell from Oakbrook Prep who got the score for the Stars. Russell Christian's always in the rankings. They haven't been back since 2017. That was the first time they went down to Florida. They lost by 2-3 points to Christian Community, have never gone back since.
Yeah.
And you wonder if they will eventually make that jump or decide to add an extra week to their schedule to go down to Florida. Because we've had conversations with coaches like you mentioned the Pac Panthers. Coach Yeoman's at his scheduling meeting coming up. He's saying to him, our conference championship needs to be a week earlier because of Florida, so that way they're not, playing the national championship and then playing the state championship in the same week. So 3 games in the span of 9-10 days. You also got Coach Smith, as mentioned. They always good to go down to Florida, and you got other teams that are willing to go for the opportunity. Great SWAT to prevent the 2-point conversion attempt, and you just got so many teams that are willing to do it. It's just a challenge of getting teams to recognize that football for one more week has potentially more value than just a week of practice in basketball.
Yeah, and all these teams is really going to be. You have those years where there's guys you've been covering for 3-4 years. The guys that you've been covering for a long time. This is the last year where you really get that.
Yep.
Where these teams are already building, have already built a foundation with their group of seniors coming up that we saw in the junior game. This is kind of the final year, and then you start to see new faces. You get to see new names start to come to light, and I think this year can be really special all around 8-man for these names to start coming out, because some of these guys haven't really gotten their names to the top because of all these great athletes you see on this field right now. So expect it to be really competitive next year, not only in SEAC and not only in states like Alabama and Georgia and Oklahoma and Indiana, but expect it to be everywhere. And I'm really excited to see what next year brings. I'm really excited for our team, Franklin Classical. We got a lot of good guys coming back. Josh Jackson, who participated today, he's expected to return. So we're really excited to build on that core foundation. Really excited for a competitive year in the SEAC conference next year.
Imagine 4 teams as this is an onside kick that's not going to go 10 yards. He shoves over one of the players and just picks it up, which I guess you could do that.
It's a live ball.
Yeah, it's a live ball, so you could do that. Actually, final last thought about Florida. You imagine the teams that you conference champions if they went down, not necessarily in this order of matchups, but you had Evangel, Franklin Christian, Pac, and Russell. You have those 4 teams in any of those matchups, you would have an incredible set of semifinals and an even better national championship.
And all those games will be a coin flip. You wouldn't know who was going to win those games. I would lean when it came to FCA and Evangel. I would lean Evangel just because of what they've done. Pac and Russell, that's just a coin flip. That's like that Texas-Washington game coming up on New Year's Day. It's just kind of a coin flip with that. 2 very good schools, two very good coaching staff. So that'd be a very good game to watch if that was coming. It's got that going to happen in the future.
And there's a flag thrown in the secondary.
Probably intentional grounding right here.
By the way, that score by the Stars stopped the mercy rule from running with 7:23 left to go in the 4th quarter. And I guess it's not a coin flip for you on Michigan, Alabama.
Oh, Alabama's going to. It's not.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's going to be an Alabama-Washington national championship, in my opinion.
I have to ask that question because, just because I'm in PhD school at Bama, that doesn't mean I can automatically assume. But certainly, SEC champion tends to bring a lot more. Hopefully Michigan puts up at least a good fight in that. We're at the point of the broadcast where we're talking college football playoff at this point. And we got a whole bunch of people up here in the thing, but it's we're at that point in the broadcast because of the wide gap of the score, obviously, and these players have certainly put it all out on the field through the season, and the performances today certainly do not reflect the amazing seasons that they've had, at least in terms of the star side. The Stripes have been doing very well.
Yeah, they've been just driving up and down the field. As you see, they're already on the 31-yard line, threatening to score again with this clock stopped. The clock's running with 6:39 left. And these kids have all put it out. They've put a hard week of practice in, and it's hard to get all your scheme and your philosophy, your coaching philosophy in a playbook in 2 days. And these kids have really done a good job of putting that together for both sides. All these teams, all 8 teams that have played today have done a really good job. These coaching staffs have done a really good job getting these kids prepared. And some of these kids are are definitely are excited. And for this senior game, it's bittersweet because there's a lot of these guys that may play at the next level. There's some of these guys that may not. These guys may pursue something else, and it's the last time they may ever put on that helmet, put on the shoulder pads. So for them to get this experience in Gatlinburg, it's always a great experience. And I was blessed to be a part of this 3 years ago, and was and we. And I've been on the Star side. We got killed in that game, and I'm sure y'all were talking about college football and all stuff during that broadcast as well. But yeah, it was awesome for me to have that experience to come out here and play and practice and form new friendships. And that's another thing is these kids that come out here, and it looks like we have an injury on the field real quick.
It's Jonah Williams from Bensford Christian. You could see him wincing in pain on the corner of the end zone. Not a good sign, but does get back up on his own feet as he's hobbling over to get looked at by the training staff. Not a good sign, especially this late in the game with the fate essentially decided.
Saying like these young men have had a chance to come out here and form new friendships, and that's always great to form new friendships outside of your team, and you get to hear about you bring in a lot of young men in from different backgrounds, different families, different team atmospheres, and that's always great to have here. And this is a weekend that they'll never forget, an experience they'll never forget. To come out here and play the game they love, the game they cherish. It's always a great thing. And we've had really a good day of football overall.
And they are running the clock now. Under 4:30 left to go as this is aired out to the end zone. The catch made and going into the end zone, a touchdown. It's swatted out at the last second, waiting for the official ruling. It's a touchback. Looked like it would have been a touchdown for Shaquan Etheridge.
It was very close. Very close.
They rule it as a touchback. The officials are going to talk about it. They change it to a touchdown. Etheridge did not lose control of the ball prior to crossing the plane of the goal line, and looks like they'll have more of a discussion here, and I guess the official ruling is a touchdown. So 6 points on the board for the Stripes.
Yeah, good job right there. It was awfully close. Getting into the end zone, he was well into the end zone when they swatted that ball. So another guy that's been really instrumental today has been Shaquan Etheridge, and he's done a really good job alongside of Caleb Austin, Rebar, Mason Merritt, and Marty McKnight, and really dominating performance today by the Stripes, and looking like they're going to come out with the victory. Looked like they were coming out with the victory in the first quarter, but they've done a really good job today. And also, you got to applaud the Stars team for staying in it and giving effort, and they're still playing hard, as you see right there. They're still playing hard, preventing the Stripes from getting the 2-point conversion. So a great job by both these teams today.
About 3:10 left to go here in the game and winding down with the mercy rule. And, 34-point deficit, but they're still running the clock, which I'm sure the coaches have agreed upon with the fate essentially sealed. And already you're seeing some players having injury issues or getting shaken up, so given a chance. But they're giving a signal for the clock to stop. And finally at 2:45, they do stop the clock here. With under 3 minutes left to go in regulation.
I was still talking.
You're right. You're right, Eli. You are still talking as we're still talking here with 3 minutes left to go in regulation. A high kick there as it's returned by Luke Jones from Tuscaloosa Christian, gets to the 41-yard line.
That's another team that has been there and has done that in Alabama, and another team we can see in Florida. Tuscaloosa Christian is really good, really good coaching staff, really good players, and they're always there to hoist up that trophy. So expect them to make some noise this year too.
Yeah, Tuscaloosa Christian went back to the CFA championship for the first time since 2016 and lost in overtime to Russell Christian this past month, and might be another one of those teams that are on the rise and could potentially get down to Panama City, as this is pitched back out on the right side to Locke. And this is heading over to the right side.
Again, want to give a special shout out to the not just the broadcast crew. We mentioned them all by name earlier. Also, a shout out to the incredible people at Rocky Top Sports World for having a greatly coordinated event all around. As there's a flag thrown, looks like maybe a player was chirping for an unsportsmanlike conduct or something along those lines. But special thank you to Andrew Capps, coordinator for the event, and all the staff members who have worked around the clock at Rocky Top Sports World. Sideline warning called on the Stars, who have worked hard to pull off this event. It's always a very challenging feat. You think about all the hotel rooms, the meals, the field coordination, concessions, and jersey sales, and organizing the practices, and everything under the sun. I mean, even we were, Jack Helwing and I, we were walking around after the lunch earlier yesterday, and Thursday we had the stage set up for the opening ceremonies. Then we look up across the gym. They had it set up immediately for wrestling championships. So already the staff who works constantly with the 150-plus events they coordinate here at Rocky Top Sports World.
And look how much it's grown in the past couple of years, and how many more teams and more players have joined this thing. And it started out small, and as you see, he's taking off here. Looks like that's going to be
that's Chris Wilkins.
I might be Brad Caldwell out of Oak Brook.
That's right. It looked like it was 23 or 22, but more than likely it's Caldwell because we've just been calling his name all day.
Yeah. So this Stars team still not giving up today, and you usually love to see that. These guys are really passionate about this game, and with just under a minute to go, they probably want to just get one more score on the board, just something to build their confidence in. And they've all played hard despite the scoreboard, and looks like they're going to give us probably 2 or 3 more plays here to finish this game out, given another turnover that might happen. But let's see if they're able to punch us in the end zone.
Fake shovel to the right side and trying to twist through. Last effort. As there is a timeout called, so they will call times here to try and get that last score in. As you mentioned, Eli, with 21 seconds left, it's another timeout burned by the Stars. Coach Duarte and company trying to fight to the last second to get another touchdown on the board. .21 seconds remaining in regulation as the Stars will send 4 receivers to the right side, try to get one more score for the team, and another timeout called on the field, this time by the Stripes. They get set up for trying to go for the score, and the Stripes didn't like what they saw in the formation, and they will think it over with the final seconds winding down here.
Yeah, they're just probably trying to prevent another score. Both of these teams are really super competitive, and they just want to be able to have that last say in this game, and it's really cool to see. Going with the quad set here to the right.
Scramble to the right side, looking for the catch in the end zone. There is a catch at the 5-yard line.
They're staying incomplete, or some of the Stripe players are staying incomplete.
Yeah, some of them saying incomplete, waiting for the official to make the ruling, and time called with the Stars calling a timeout there with 9 seconds left. And they do rule it a catch on the 4-yard line.
Yeah, so you got time for one more play. You got 9 seconds. So ultimately, you're just trying to punch this ball. Give him a little quick fade route to the corner of the end zone. Give your guy a one-on-one chance, a 50-50 ball, and see what they can do there.
51 degrees here in Gatlinburg on the mountain. It's a lot warmer than it's been in the years past. For the All-American game. You said you did it in 2020. Was that the?
It was
COVID?
December of 2020. Yeah.
It was the COVID year.
Yeah, that year was freezing.
Oh,
it was awful. Yeah, I believe we came out during warm-ups, and the turf was solid frozen, just ice.
Yeah, that's that kind of conditions. Did they have any heaters?
They did not
on the field. No, so you guys had to try to use your cleats to stomp out some of that, or try to make it.
Try to stomp it out and just use their towels as hand warmers. And I was not smart, and I didn't think about it. And I didn't bring a hand warmer or anything, and I didn't wear sleeves that game. So I don't know why I chose to do that. But let's see what they're going to come up with this last play. They're going with that quad set again to the left. See what they're going to do here.
Yeah, again, 9 seconds. That quad set to the left side, as you mentioned. 9 seconds for him to work with, and pressure on the backside, trying to get the sack. Nothing doing. Toss up to the end zone, and it's ripped for the interception. Ripped away.
No, I believe that was a touchdown.
Did they give a signal for
that? Was a touchdown, yeah. They gave that a touchdown, yeah. Touchdown.
A great touchdown in that case. It looked like Pollock had it in his hands, but great touchdown at the end for the Stars. Kansas City East Lions senior Grayson Pollock got the score.
Yeah, and good job by the quarterback running to his left, trying to find the open man, and great last effort. And that's been ultimate what's been happening during all these games. Great effort by both these squads today and all these teams. Great way to finish it out with a great weekend. So hopefully they're able to make this field goal and cap off this great Gatlinburg All-American Bowl weekend, and we can look on to next year.
Easy PAT made, and that is going to do it. 46-18, or 46-20 with the updated score. The Stripes get the victory over the Stars, as has been the case with the rest of the game. We will stay on here for the presentation of the awards for offensive, defensive, and overall most valuable players in the game. I think we were talking, you had some predictions. You stick with those predictions early on?
Some of them changed, but as far as defensive MVP goes, Ray Shaw, he balled out today. Give that award to that young man. Mason Merritt, he had a great day at quarterback. Aiden Burns as well. Aiden Burns had a great day slinging that ball around. Shaquan Etheridge had a great day, and so did Caleb Austin. So really all these guys are up for awards. Those are just my few guys that might do it. Zion Thompson and Rebar also had great days today. Marty McKnight, too. He was able to run that rock today and really do a great job. So we'll see what these guys come up with for these awards, and I'm excited to see what's to happen with these.
Andrew Cap's on the field and ready to present those to the respective players. Of course, both teams in the last time in 2023 we'll see the post-game huddle/handshake as the teams have their final for a lot of these, pretty much all these seniors, unless even if they had the professional level, the last handshake line that they have in their careers. You still have the people meeting after the game and saying good game, of course, but not in the fashion that high school football does.
Yeah, there's just so much camaraderie. I can't speak.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie with high school football, and all these guys they want to compete at the highest level in these games, but ultimately they have so much love and respect for each other, and these lines at the 50-yard line is always a great sign of that, and a great tradition that has really started and grown in high school football, and really cool to see as these two squads come together for the last time today.
And you've got one of the coaches, J.J. Duarte, is talking at midfield, talking from the players, giving them their best level of encouragement. And you see players separate. Usually you have the players mix it up.
I think they're about to give the awards. That's why they're spreading
Yeah.
everybody out.
Coach Duarte, head coach for the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors, in that position for several years now. And also, anytime you talk with any of the players, they very well know him for his post-game speeches.
Yes.
And still waiting the announcement in stadium for the awards for offensive, defensive, and most valuable players. Then we will wrap things up officially here from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. A great weekend of All-American Bowl game action. The Stars went 3-1 on the day, with the Stripes having the one win later on here in the evening contest. The juniors game ended up being the closest one with a 50-30 margin. Rest of the games were unfortunately one-sided. Again, with an all-star game, not much that really affects it in that circumstance. Post-game prayer here for both teams as they wrap things up here from the Smoky Mountains. Starting to get more chilly around here as well. As our producer Alex Chasen would mention, the sun not being out does not help with the cold weather here in the Smokies.
Absolutely. I'll hop on the mic real quick.
Perfect.
I haven't talked this whole time, but yeah, I'm Alex.
I think we recognize you from the national championships.
Right on. I was doing sideline reporting there, and yeah, I'm from Boston, like Spencer has alluded to a few times today, and for some reason it feels colder here. It feels colder here at times, up here in the mountains. Who do you think are your award winners before they?
I go with what Eli mentioned on his predictions, but here they go.
Starting first with our defensive player of the game, number 0, Ryan Shaw.
Doesn't surprise me with Ryan Shaw. He had a great game on the defensive side for the Stripes. Several interceptions, several great plays, tackles for loss. Great effort all around.
And now for our offensive player of the game, number 28, Marty McKnight.
Yeah, McKnight, great game on his part too, calling his name a lot with several touchdowns, several great catches. Now who's the overall?
MVP, number 8, Aiden Bird.
The starting quarterback who won the CFA championship for Russell Christian, getting the nod for the overall most valuable player for the 8-man game. Great effort all around shown by both of these teams. Well, that is going to wrap it up from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's been fun. We've enjoyed covering this 2023 All-American weekend for you. You'll certainly see highlights posted later, as well as mic'd up moments from the practices, and all-around great weekend. And for Eli Whitaker, for our producers, Jack Helwig and Alex Chasen, as well as all the rest of our cameramen, Eli Cornett, I apologize. I'm thinking Eli. There's so many Elis around the 8-man football world. Mistaken in that regard. My apologies for that. But on behalf of my broadcast partners, our producers, Jack Helwig, as well as Alex Chasen, all of the hard-working men and women that have made this run so smoothly, I'm Spencer Tomstad saying so long from the Smoky Mountains. A conclusion ends with the Stripes winning over the Stars in the 8-man football game for All-American Bowl weekend.